Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. This is inbox number 7 video, which I'm showing some stuff that could have been in the inbox 6 or inbox 5 but never quite made it. I've just bought so much stuff. This might actually take a while as well because at the very end I'm going to show some VCLT that I got, my first ever, from the wonderful, great James Griffiths. Okay, right, now first and foremost we'll start off with some of the new vinyl. Now, I'm a huge ABBA fan. I love ABBA. I think I'm going to say something very bold here, but I think they are the best pure pop band that has ever been on this earth. And I know a lot of people say the Beatles, but I think the Beatles were a bit more than pop. But for just pure pop, I think ABBA are the best. Now, also, they have been doing 40th anniversary picture discs, just like David Bowie. But rather than release each picture disc whenever it first, came out 40 years later, they do it per album. So the 40th anniversary this year is of the album Voulez-Vous. So they decided to release picture discs of the singles that were connected with that album. And as that album had a gazillion singles, there's a gazillion picture discs. Well, not quite. But put it this way, it's a beans on toast week for me until I get paid, because this cost a bit. There's 7 of them. So I'll quickly show you them. The first one is A Summer Night City. The backs of these aren't great, they're just basically plain. This is back with the medley. This was a non-album single. It came out in '78, but it's always associated with the Voulez-Vous period, and it's always a bonus track on the Voulez-Vous CD. The next one is Chiquitita, back with Love Light. Next one is Does Your Mother Know, back with Kisses of Fire. The next one is the double A side, Voulez-Vous and Angel Eyes. And in fact, Angel Eyes was the main A side in the UK, even though there was no video for it. So whenever it was shown on Top of the Pops, Voulez-Vous did have a video, so it was shown. But I think Angel Eyes was the bigger radio hit. Then there's an extended version of Voulez-Vous with the B-side, If It Wasn't for the Nights, which I think, or wasn't for the night, no, it's nights. I think that should actually be nights. I'm not too sure. But it's a better song than Voulez-Vous. Voulez-Vous, in fact, for me, is the weakest song on the album. Then we have the non-album single, Gimme Gimme Gimme, which was released to promote their Greatest Hits Volume 2 album. And then the one I absolutely adore, and I mentioned this before, I Have a Dream, with the live version of Take a Chance on Me. Okay, so those are the 7-inch singles. A couple of brand new albums I bought. One is R.E.M's Out of Time. Great album from 1991, I think. Yeah, I think it's 91. Losing My Religion. Had it on CD, fancied it on vinyl, so there we go. And also new wise, the Morrissey album, California Sun, and this is on blue vinyl. This is actually quite good. He does a very good version of Bob Dylan's Only a Pawn in Their Game, an excellent version of It's Over, and a really good version of Melanie Some Say I Got Devil. So it's an all covers album, but it's actually quite a good album. Okay, so we're going on to some of the second-hand stuff that I bought up reasonably cheap. I fancied this, why not? Toya Anthem. Yeah, this has got Wanna Be Free, and it's a mystery. I'm not a huge Toya fan, but I saw it and I thought, why not? I have a few of her singles, and I just think she's gorgeous as well. Anyway, lucky Robert Fripp. So there's Toya Anthem. The next one up is, I always said the Greatest Hits exhibition is enough for me for this guy, but I've been picking up some of his albums, and I brought Gary Newman's Dance. This features the single She's Got Claws, which is actually my favourite Gary Newman single. This is quite jazzy, this album, and I really do like it. It's possibly my favourite Newman solo album. I don't know them all. I do like the one before it though, what's it called, Telecom, but this is actually very good. Next up we have, I tried this, my brother likes this guy, so I thought I'll have a go. It was £1. Steve Forbert. This is singer-songwriter-y stuff from the early 80s, a wee bit like Nick Lowe, but a little bit more on the folky side. I played this once and I actually quite enjoyed it. Again, I would need to play these things again. This is an issue I have with buying vinyl. I will play the albums, but I play them once, I put them away, and I tend to forget about them. So that's one that does need to come back out again. Also, I didn't have any vinyl of this guy. I had a cheapy CD, which I think cost me about 99p back in the day. And this is a Chuck Berry's type greatest hits, what's it called, all-time rock and roll party hits. 16 songs on it, which is good because there's not 20 songs on it. So they're not all crammed and they're pretty good, Nick. And there's basically everything I need of Chuck Berry on this. So again, I played this, but I know these songs off by heart anyway, so it's a very good album. Next up we have, now this band I have 2 albums in my collection because my brother gave them to me, but I'm scared of them because it's prog rock. I'm not the biggest prog rock fan. This album was cheap, so this is like a gateway into those 2 albums that I've still yet to play. But I played this and really enjoyed it, and this is the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Or Palmer, not Palmer. The only thing I knew of this was the Fanfare for the Common Man, but I played the whole thing and I actually did quite enjoy it. So the 2 albums I have are The Works and The Works Volume 2, and I will give them a spin sometime. I promise. Next up is, now I bought this in a record fair about a month and a half ago. I love this band. I've never heard this album, and I've still never heard this album because I haven't played it yet. And I'm actually quite disgusted with myself. I filed it away without actually playing. Normally the procedure would be to put these by the record player, and they don't get filed away until they get at least 1 spin. And the name of this band is, well, you can guess it now, it's the Talking Heads double live album, which I think was released around 1982. It's the one after the Once in a Remain in Light, but obviously before the Speaking in Tongues. So I do rave on about the Stop Making Sense album, but this one I just haven't heard, so I'm not actually going to file this away. This is going to get a play tonight. And I'm not too sure which is the front cover and which is the back cover, to be honest with you. So that's this. The name of this band is Talking Heads. I bought this to add to the collection, and this is T-Rex's Light of Love album. This was released in America in 1974, and basically what this is the Bowling Zip Gun album, apart from 3 songs. And these were released in America before in Britain, before they were released in Britain. The whole of side 1 is Zip Gun side 1. The last one, let me see, there's 2 songs, Till Dawn and Girl in the Thunderbolt Suit, got onto the Zip Gun album as well. Whereas 3 songs, Teenage Dream, Explosive Mouth and Venus Loon, featured on his previous album, Zinc Alloy, which never got a release in the UK. This is good. I just bought it because to add to the collection. It's on the Casablanca label, the label that Donna Summer was on. But this was the big, supposedly a lot of money went into this and it sold absolutely nothing. But I fancied it for the collection, so that's T-Rex's Light of Love. Okay, I was looking through eBay and I found 6/12 inches for a tenner from an artist I like, so I thought, look, I'm going to go for it, and the postage was very cheap, and they're all Elvis Costello 12 inches. Blue Chair, which is from his, don't know what's it called, Blood and Chocolate album. Also, Tokyo Storm Warning from his Blood and Chocolate album. The Only Flame in Town from his Goodbye Cruel World album. I really like that song as well. A very underrated album, that. Everyone slags it off, but I actually do like it. Don't forget the Comedians is on that album, which Roy Orbison covered. I Want to Be Loved from the Punch the Clock album. No, sorry, I Want to Be Loved is still from the Goodbye Cruel World. Let Them All Talk from Punch the Clock, and possibly one of his best 80s songs ever, Every Day I Write the Book, from Punch the Clock. So those are my vinyl purchases that I hadn't shown before. Now we'll get on to some the VCLT from James Griffiths. A wonderful fella with God, an extraordinary knowledge of music. So unbelievable, he puts you to shame at times. And he sent me 4 albums. He said one of them he was a bit worried about that I might not like. So I'm going to go through these 4 in order of preference, starting from the least to the best. And this is the one he thought I might not like. This is Steely Dan's The Royal Scam. I've no Steely Dan in my collection. I do now. I have this album. I played it and it's not bad. It's one I will need to re-listen to. I sort of lost a little bit of attention when I was listening, which is actually a good thing for me, because if I really did not like this, it would annoy me and I would take it off, but there was no problem and I switched over to side 2. This one will sink into me, I know it, so this we'll get another listen, James, don't you worry about that. This one here sent was The Motors, and this is called Tenement Steps. This is now my second Motors album. I think this is more consistent than the first one, although the second side of the first one I thought was amazing. But yes, I do like this album. This is a definite thumbs up. It's a slightly different sound to the first. It's a little bit more experimental and I think it works, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. Right, these next 2 completely blew me away, and I'm going to do them in this order for this reason, and I'll tell you why. This is AC/DC's Power Age. This is my 3rd AC/DC album. I played this and I was up air guitar. I thought this was fantastic. The other 2 albums I have are Let There Be Rock and Back in Black. Now I know Back in Black's a classic. This is better than Let There Be Rock, and I think this is nearly better than Back in Black as well. I really thoroughly enjoyed this from start to finish. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant album. Really excellent. And obviously now that's going to make me think, oh, I wonder what Highway to Hell actually looks quite appetizing for me. I may pick that up pretty soon. But yeah, AC/DC, Power Age, great. And the last one, which was the big surprise, I didn't think I would like this. I thought this guy was a second-rate new wave artist, but he blew me away. This is the Steve Gibbons band down in the bunker. The only thing I knew about him really was that Trevor Burton of The Move was playing with him. I remember seeing a clip on Top of the Pops. Well, it was probably Top of the Pops 2. And I thought, there's Trevor Burton, and it was. He sounds a bit like Bob Dylan on some of these songs, but I think this is the first time since I've got back into vinyl where I've played an album and a certain song has been played, I've stopped, I've got up and I've replayed that song. It's that good. And the song is Any Road. Loved it. And Down in the Bunker, as I say, is very Bob Dylan-y. But the whole of this album is excellent, really is. Very good, strong songwriting. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and thank you very much again, James. Okay, I thought that would be it, and then I got a message on Facebook If you've been watching James's videos, or his last video, he got a major haul from a friend for nothing. Jammy sod, but good, because I got something out of it. And he knows I'm a big Squeeze fan. He's a huge Squeeze fan himself. He's probably a bigger Squeeze fan than me, to be honest with you. But he asked me if I had this, and I hadn't, and he sent me the picture disc of When the Hangover Strikes, which is great. I have the single, but it's on an ordinary 7-inch disc picture sleeve, not a picture disc, black vinyl. So this is great. But the big surprise, and I did not expect this, was he sent me this. I have never seen one of these before. This is a 5-inch single, and this was released in America. It's a little 5-inch single of If I Didn't Love You, backed by Another Nail in My Heart. I was totally blown away. This only arrived in the mail this morning, and I just couldn't believe it. So I sent them a message back thanking them very much. So there you go, Squeeze. And this will sit proudly in amongst my Squeeze singles. So that's If I Didn't Love You. So that's the vinyl haul plus the VCLT. So again, I just want to thank James very much for all the records he sent. He also sent a little book as well, which I'm not going to show since this is vinyl. But it's a very interesting little book. I've just skimmed it, so I need to start actually reading that maybe this weekend. So, hope you enjoyed that. That's me for now. All the best. Bye bye.